Right then, we are live. Just need to refresh this. Not doing it. Might be duplicate sound for a second. One minute. I'm just trying to get the chat up. Don't think there's anyone in there yet anyway. Ah, there we go. Lovely. Right, it's loading. It's loading. No, don't think there's anyone in there yet, so we are okay. I know I'm a little bit early. Oh no, we've got 5 people watching, so there might be someone popping in there in a sec. Yeah, so I know I'm a little bit early, but kind of just how it fell today. So I thought, you know what, I'll go live, a few minutes early, or 25 minutes early. But it's better to be early than to be late. Could you let me know in the chat if the sound's okay? Stream's all right. It's looking a little bit laggy this end. It's raining quite heavy outside, and sometimes that can affect the internet. So it's affected it in the past. So just let me know if everything's okay. We've got Neil in the chat, we've got Adam in the chat, we've got Southwest Sellers Gary in the chat, we've got Blitz. Hi guys. So yeah, as you can see, I've not got a topic today. I'm not organised with it really. So I've just put you choose the topic, whack a load of questions in the chat, just bombard me with reselling questions and I will answer them. We've got Steve Grieving in there, we've got Bumcrack Picker. Is this the first time to one of my live shows, Bumcrack Picker? Because I don't think I've seen you in there, and I wouldn't notice your username. Maybe not. Maybe you've been to a few before, but yeah, I don't have video. Does everyone else have video? So because if everyone else has video, then it's probably a problem at your end, Blitz. But if everyone else doesn't have video, then it's problem at my end. Oh yeah, you have been. Oh, have you been to? Oh right. Oh, it's your first time, or have you actually been to one before? I don't know which one you mean by saying yes, but I'm taking it you've not been to one before. Yeah, Southwest Soul says all okay. Bumcrack Picker says sounded good. I just can't. I'm gonna grin every time I say that username. It's so good. Oh my god. In the middle of testing a Optelec, is how you pronounce it? Optelec Clear Reader Plus picked up at the auction on Tuesday. Cool. Yeah, video is good. Right. Okay. Cool. All okay. Right. Well, it must be all right then. It was great. It was a great show you done with your grandparents. Thank you. Yeah, they were really nervous at the start, but I think we got into it quite well. And at the end of it, I think they enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure they enjoyed it. So they didn't actually say that directly to me, but we didn't seem like we were nervous anymore. So hopefully we did get into it and enjoy it. But yeah, when I said how many people there would be watching, they were quite sort of taken back because we didn't even think, like, they didn't know it was good. I don't even think they really knew it was going to be live until I properly told them on the day. I think they thought we were just recording a video. But when I said it was going to be live and there's probably going to be about 30-40 people watching, they were quite taken back by that. So I think that might have hindered them with the nerves a little bit beforehand, but they seemed fine. They really did. They seemed like they got into it quite easily. I will watch later then. It's maybe my signal later, guys. Okay, yeah, just catch up later on. I will check the stream after it's like gone onto my channel as a video, just to see if it's been all right. Ads, it reads out text, paid 140, we'll put on eBay for 500 to 600. Wow. So is that all it does? And it's worth like 500-600, just reads out text. God, you would have thought, is that cheaper? Well, you're probably cheaper versions of them, but that's like a higher model or something. But okay, I would have thought you'd just be able to do that on your iPhone by now. You just scan it over the text and then it reads it out. I bet you there's an app for that. They are £2,000 new. What? That's crazy. Bloody hell. Sometimes technology baffles me, and then other technology is like, it really doesn't baffle me. It makes me think, like, why aren't we more advanced than that now? But yeah, I mean, hopefully by the time I'm older, it'll be awesome technology. But I don't think it will be. I think I'm just dreaming that, you know. I think maybe in 300, 400, 500 years it will be, but probably not in my lifetime. Not like to the stage I want, like how much I want it to be. I don't think it'll get to that, but yeah, I am a bit of a dreamer. Electra's on the bed, by the way, so if she like tries to climb up the chair or onto me again, like she did in when I was chatting to Darren the other day, you know, she's there, just warning you. Right then, so yeah, any questions in the chat? Oh, 1 second. Save that. Right, there we go. Yeah, any questions in the chat, please do fire away. Anything to do with reselling? Oh, I do have a couple of announcements as well. Just before, you know, before we start, and I forget about, you know, about telling you about them. I've got some ideas for Reseller Comedy Short number 3. If all pans out, it's going to be awesome. It really is. It's going to be one hell of a video. It's going to be more. I'm going back to the more laugh out loud stuff rather than, because obviously Reseller Comedy Short 1 was very much laugh out loud, you know, less sort of serious. And then Reseller Comedy Short, I went for a different angle in the drama side of it, and I really loved doing that, and I think it worked great. But I think that people like the laugh out loud stuff more, and I did enjoy doing both of the Reseller Comedy Shorts, but I have to say I like that laugh out loud stuff a little bit more. So yeah, it's going to be very laugh out loud. It's going to be funny. It's going to hopefully encompass some things about reselling, so that then it still can be classed as a reseller comedy short. Hi, Treasure by the Sea. Oh, right, yeah, just saying. Hi, everyone. First time in the chat. Yeah, Treasure by the Sea. Yeah, I've not seen your username there, so welcome to the chat. Don't worry, I don't bite or anything like that. So yeah, you should enjoy it anyway. So yeah, Reseller Comedy Short 3 is going to be interesting. I don't think it's something that I would have thought. It's an idea that's it's a very easy idea to think of. And it's something I've wanted to do even before I started doing the Reseller Comedy Shorts. Like, it was, I don't even know why it wasn't the first one I did, to be honest, because it's such a simplistic, easy idea that will be very laugh out loud, very funny if I do it in the right way. So yeah, I can't wait to do it. I need to get some things for it. It's going to cost me a small amount of money, probably about 10, 20 quid, to get a few of the bits and bobs. Oh, she's awake now. To get a few of the bits and bobs for doing it. And yeah, it's just gonna be funny. It's just gonna be funny, and that's what I want to bring to people. You know, and it's always, every time I do a Reseller Comedy Short, they're always going to be on a Monday morning or Monday at some point, because it's about that sort of a little bit of a laughter before you get on with your day kind of thing, or before you get on with your week. So I will always do it on a Monday. But I just like being able to bring a bit of a smile or a bit of comedy to people's day. And although I'd love to like dedicate loads of time and literally do a Reseller Comedy Short every week or every couple of weeks, I just can't do it, because for one, I couldn't think of the ideas. I think I'd dry up on ideas, and for two, you know, I've got a business to run. I just can't do it because it takes a lot longer than doing a normal video. Is the central heating not working, Adam? Got your coat on? No, I always wear my coat. We've not got the central heating on because it's summer anyway. I know it's not, you know, it's not great outside. It's raining and a bit cool, but I just always wear my coat. I like wearing it. I go out so frequently in the day for walks and to the post office and to the charity shops and stuff, or maybe even around my mates, stuff like that. I go out so frequently in the day that I just keep it on, and then like an hour, say there's basically in the day, every 2 to 3 hours I'll be going out somewhere. So, you know, say I get up about 7 o'clock, by about 11 o'clock I'll be going out to the post office. But then after that, it's every like 2 to 3 hours I'll be going out up until about 6, 7 o'clock. So yeah, even, you know, in the summer at 7, 8 o'clock I'll go for a walk. You know, maybe not tonight because it might be a bit choppy, but most of the days in summer I'll go for an after dinner walk. So Oh, she wants to get out, does she? So I always kind of just leave my coat on, and then just make sure, and then yeah, that's that. I don't know why I need to explain it in such detail, but you know what I'm like. I always feel the need to go into great detail on explaining things. What have we got there? Also got a Morant. Oh, a Morant. I've heard of him. I think I've heard Z talking about them, or some maybe. Or was it maybe Golden Finger Picker or Craigslist Hunter? I don't know. Morant CD player, a Rotel. Oh, a Rotel amp. Oh, nice. A pair of Serwin Vega. I think I've heard of them before. Speakers for £79 including commission. Speakers are worth 100 to 120. Wow, you've been buying up some higher value stuff then. Jesus. We have Carol in the chat. Hi, Carol. So yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, and finally, yeah, other announcement. On Sunday, we have scheduled it. We are pretty firm now. I'm pretty sure it'll be completely happening. So I think I can mention it. I'm not going to mention who the special guests are because I don't know whether they want me to. And I think it'll be nice just to keep it a bit of a surprise. But on Sunday, as I mentioned in the chat with Darren, this Sunday, there's going to be like a dual car boot haul with some guests who are coming on. And we're basically going to show like one item at a time. I don't know how we're going to work it. I might do an item and then the screen will flick onto them and then they do an item. But it'll be a live Google Hangout. And I think it's quite cool. I think it might be the first time a reseller's done it in the UK. I know that Lonnie and Tonya did like a garage sale dual based haul thing a few weeks back. And maybe that's where I sort of got the idea from. I don't know. It just sort of came to me and I thought, you know what, I'd really like to do a dual haul. I don't know whether it was before I saw that I wanted to do it or after it, but maybe that's where the idea came from. But I thought it'd be a great idea, and I want to do some more like live shows with other guests and stuff anyway. So it sort of ticks a few boxes really. Well, that should be really good because I get a whole array of stuff at Car Boots. I get loads of different stuff, and then the pair who are coming on are mainly sort of, without giving too much away, main sort of media, things like that. Because if I give you too much information, you're going to know who the guests are. Right then, so yeah, I don't think I've had one question in the chat except that coat question. So yeah, drop us some questions in the chat. Help me out. Let's get the ball rolling on Thursday Talks and get things going. Hi, Adam and Ads. Oh, you mean you're referring to another Adam in the chat, are you? Or are you just referring to Adam and Ads as separate people? Because that's what, well, actually, yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about. But I always forget to talk about. I do think there's this weird distinction between Ads and Adam in terms of like me as Adam and me as Ads. I don't necessarily think it's like dual personality, or what do we call it? Like a what do we call it? Like a what do we call it? You know, like no, I don't know. I forgot the word, but you know where you have like two separate personalities. It is dual personality, but I mean, there's another word for it. Alter ego. Alter ego. That's it. Alter ego. So yeah, I don't know. I do feel like sometimes I can get a little bit. There's Adam, there's Ads, and then there's like this other person where sometimes I get a little bit of glint of evil in my eye and think what I could achieve if I do things in a little bit more of a maybe evil way. I don't know whether it's just natural emotion coming into play and everyone gets that. I don't know whether it's the fact that I have sort of these three different personalities I'm trying to juggle, but I do feel like there's a difference. Like I can feel myself when I'm Adam, I can feel myself when I'm Ads, and I can feel myself when I'm this other third personality, which I call Kurifni, which is like an asteroid that revolves around the Earth once every 70,000 years or something. You have to look it up. But like right now, I'm Adam. When I think you can actually see me on camera turn into Ads, and that's like it's like a personality shift. and I'll go a bit crazy and a bit more rambunctious and a little bit more, oh, you know, everything, the sky's the limit, and like, whoa, 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 and talking about random weird stuff. And I do think there's a shift. It's like a sort of paradigm shift. It's weird. Oh yeah, Kirsten, I saw you on Tat Chat the other day. I watched it Wednesday morning, I think. And yeah, you were great on that. You're really, really good. I can't believe how well you actually adjusted to basically being a co-host of that show. I don't think you've ever done a live chat before, have you? So if you haven't, that was really impressive how you just went on there. You were essentially a co-host for that episode, and you did really, really well. So yeah, that was really, really good. Ads, stop feeling yourself. What do you mean feeling myself? What, feeling my hands or something? What am I doing? Hand gestures or something? What are you on about? Peter A's in there. Hi. Mads, yeah, that would be a good little name for it. I have been watching your channel as well, Kirsten. Good stuff. Right then. Oh, here we go. Someone else calls it. Adam Kelsey says, my mates call me Ads or Ad, amongst other things, but my folks call me Adam. Yeah, it's weird. Like, weirdly enough, since I've come on YouTubers and I sort of, I don't want to say the word market because it sounds a bit, it's not what I'm about, you know, but in a way it is. I sort of market myself as Ads, or I name myself Ads on the channel, and you know, I'm known as Ads, if you like. I don't like to say market because I don't try and sell you stuff. I don't try and do all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with coming on and selling you stuff, but you know, I don't market myself particularly on the channel, but I do. I'm sort of known. Maybe known is a better word. Like, I'm known as Ads on YouTube. And since I've been on YouTube, my mom has started calling me Ads a little bit more. Like, every now and then she calls me Ads instead of Adam. My dad doesn't really. I don't think so. Certainly my friends call me Ads quite a bit. Not loads, but quite a bit. It's, funnily enough, it's more on Messenger. You know, like on Messenger or on text, people call you Ads, but in person, they feel like they just want to call you Adam because Ad sounds a bit more, I don't know what the word is, like more, I want to say more Soho, but it doesn't really fit that well, does it? I mean, more, and I wanted to, a word that came to mind was burlesque, but you know, for example, I would be called Ads in a burlesque show, but I don't know, it might be a bit pushing the boat out a little bit, but it's more, what I'm trying to say is Ads is more for big, bold occasions rather than for just sitting there playing Xbox with your mate. You just call them Adam. But you know me, I read into things far too much. Right then, let me do it. Hello, we'll try and listen between customers. Right. Thanks, Carol. Trying to lip read Ads, got customers in. I'll try and do my mouth really big. Southwest House, Ads, did you see the email in changes from what email? From eBay or Amazon? You don't do Amazon, do you? Oh, little one. You don't do Amazon, do you? So it must be eBay. So no, I didn't see the email about changes from the first. Must be eBay. I mean, it's eBay. Oh, there she goes again. Sorry, should have said, oh, Amazon. Okay. What, do you do Amazon? Oh, I didn't know you do Amazon. No, I saw an email. It was like fulfillment by Amazon, important notice or something. And it was just an update email on removals and how much it's going to cost. My charges have gone down from like 253, I believe, to now 203. So I'm pretty happy with that. You know, I'm getting it down a little bit. And then I'm just going to get everything back. And then I'm going to put some things in the Christmas pile. I'm going to put auction stuff off. You know the drill. I've already talked to you about it. But no, I got that email, but I've not seen another email now. So we want to see Electra. I know. Well, she's gone out now, hasn't she? She'll come back in. She likes the camera. Right then. So no, I didn't see that email. I'll have to have a look later on. Oh, here we go. Peter, wait, how's the cat doing? Yeah, she's good. She's growing. She is jumping up on higher things, you know, in higher places. She really, she's an outdoor cat. She's an outdoor cat. I'm not saying I'll let her out yet. Don't worry, I've not let her out yet. But I mean, I know the fact that she's an outdoor cat because every time, you know, every time she's in this room, she'll at least spend about 20 minutes on that window ledge. Look, on the windowsill, because the window ledge is actually outside the window, but the windowsill, and she'll just look outside at what's going on. And then she'll go into the conservatory, and then she'll just look out the window there. And she's just an outdoor cat. The problem is she's very boisterous, and I have a fear that if we let her out, maybe if we, well, whenever we let her out, really. I mean, I was going to say if we let her out too soon, but whenever we let her out, it's going to be scary for me because she's going to just want to dart everywhere. And, you know, we've got basically where our house is, there's a train line at the back. We've not got so many cars going past here. You know, we're in an estate, so it's not terribly, you know, it's not like we're on a main road or anything. But I just, you know, I fear that she's just going to get too inquisitive and just go off somewhere. And, you know, curiosity killed the cat and all that. So we did propose doing something else. I proposed to my mum because I spoke to Cora ages ago, and she said you can get like cat leads. So it would be a temporary situation. Basically, at the back of a garden, I do steps. For example, if I only got to 8,000 steps in the day doing my walks, then about 7 o'clock I'll do my steps around the garden. And I'm actually starting to wear a little path into the grass. And by February next year, I want to actually wear that path right into the grass. I don't think my dad's going to be too happy about that, but we're keeping that on the down low for a little bit. Oh, she's not chewing wires, is she? But the reason I want to do that is because I'm actually training myself to focus more, because February next year, I'm trying to do something quite cool. Remember this year, I did 50 charity shops in a day. Well, every year from now on, for my 21st birthday, on my birthday, I'm going to do an insane reselling challenge and also mental challenge, physical challenge to better myself, basically. So next year, here's the plan. I didn't know whether I should reveal this or not. I've been trying to you know, train a little bit of my focus towards it for the last few weeks. And when I'm doing my walking, I'm not training to walk. I'm training to focus. I'm training my mind to switch off and be in harmony with my body, because that's what it's going to take to do the challenge I want to do. Because it's going to be not necessarily majorly demanding physically. It's an achievable target physically, but to do the reselling side of the challenge while I'm doing the physical side of the challenge is going to make it harder. So here's the challenge on the 6th of February 2018, which is my 22nd birthday. I will be doing in a day, hopefully, and I've said it on camera now, so I kind of have to do it. I'm going to try and do 50,000 steps and 50 listings in a day. And that's basically, it's not to kind of prove to people that reselling is the perfect job for having a healthy lifestyle, although I do believe that quite a lot. It is to prove that in one respect, that, you know, if you're doing a reseller and you're neglecting your health, really there's not as big an excuse that I want to prove to people that you can fit it in. Now, if you've got kids or something like that, that's a different story. I don't know how hard it is to have kids. So if you've got kids and you're doing reselling and trying to fit in a healthy lifestyle, I don't know how hard that is until I do it. But if I could then prove to people that when I've got kids and I'm a reseller and I'm fitting in a healthy lifestyle, then I can prove to people that it's done, then there's no excuse for anyone else to do it. But right now, I've not got kids, so it's easier for me in a way. But basically, I want to prove to myself that I can do it. I want to do it to help physically. I want to do it to help with my anxiety. I want to do it to just as a challenge, a mental challenge, and make myself stronger. So that's what I'm going to do on what time are you going to get up? What I'm thinking of doing is having like high carbs the night before, then getting up about 6 o'clock. I've worked it out. If I do 100 steps a minute, right, 100 steps a minute, which is doable, which is quite doable, for about 8.25 hours, I can do it. Now, in that time, in the day, I've actually got to do the 50 listings as well. So what I've got to do is, while I'm doing my steps, do the listings, which is insane, really, because I've got to do my steps, getting tired out doing that, and do the 50 listings. So here's the plan. If I get up at 6, I do all my photos the day before, or the day before the day before. Get up at 6 on the day. Spend about 2 to 3 hours then just hammering out listings. If I can get to about 30 listings in them 2 to 3 hours, great, that'll be good. Set off 9 o'clock. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can make it very, very hard for myself, or I can make it easy. I've contemplated whether I should not wear my headphones, and that is going to be extremely hard for me, because every time I go out for a walk, I wear my headphones, and it makes it so much easier because I've got something to listen to. Also, the other extremely hard thing I could do is actually confine it to my back garden. So I'm literally doing that circuit, you know, however many times it takes to get to 50,000 steps. And that would make it very mentally challenging on me, because I'd really have to focus, because I would get to a point I would imagine about 20 to 25,000 steps where I'm going to go insane from just going around that circuit. But if I can get to the point where I completely break my own mind, and I can still keep going, I can still go push forward, then that's the place I need to be in my life. That's the place I need to get to for this, for what I'm missing, for what I need to do, and I need to achieve in my life, this like state of utter, I don't know, utter like completion, or break my mind, basically, just break my body and break my mind so much that I just have serenity, because I've done that. I've done all I can do. I've done my challenge. I've achieved something. You know, it's like just the same as people want to climb up Everest or do this or do that. It's kind of on a similar wavelength to that. They want to push themselves as far as they can. And it's the same for me, really, but obviously not climbing up Everest. How far is 50,000 steps? I don't know in miles. I don't know. I don't know. It's probably not that much. Let's work it out. I've got my steps thing here. Adam, bring bins in, please, my dad says. Right, I've got my steps chart up here, so I can work it out. So 10,000 steps is 7.4 kilometers. Times that by 3. Let's say 7.5. Times that by 5. That's 37.5 kilometers in miles, whatever that is. Is a mile longer than a kilometer? I don't know, but work it out. It's a lot. Just Googled it. 50,000. Oh no, it's shorter. Yeah, a mile is shorter than a kilometer, isn't it? So, no, it is longer. So that means there'll be fewer of them. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I get it. It's almost a marathon, 23.67 miles. So quite a lot. Obviously, I'm going to have a break for lunch, but when I have lunch, I'm going to make it very, very slim, like very, very little, because I don't want to bloat myself. Worst thing I could do when I'm 25,000 steps in is bloat myself, because then I'm going to be lethargic, I'm going to be tired, I'm not going to want to press on. I need everything to align perfectly so that then my mind can go to its absolute limit. Whoa, she fell off the desk. So my mind can go to its absolute limit, because, and I keep saying this, my mind, because it's about your mind. In a test like that, yes, it's about your body and it's about how far you can push your body, but your mind can carry you further than your body wants to go if you allow it to. I really do believe that. So it's yeah. I mean, anyway, there we go. I've mentioned it now. I've mentioned what I want to do for my 22nd, 23rd birthday. Will probably be something different, maybe to do with sourcing again. Now, I would ideally like to do 10 car boots in a day, but that wouldn't be on my birthday. Like, I'd have to, because obviously my birthday in 2019 will be on a Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. So obviously there's not many car boots around here on a Wednesday. There's not hardly any midweek ones around here. So I'd have to do the challenge, you know, outside my birthday on the Sunday. And then try and hit 10 car boots in a day, because I'd really like to do that. It's less about, I think maybe if I'm being completely truthful, I think partly it is somewhat to do with like being the best, or maybe a little bit of ego. But I think if it wasn't partly to do with that, you would have no drive. Like, the competition to do better than someone else, it gives you that drive. But I don't think it at all as much of that as I actually believe. I think it really truly is just about pushing myself. And if someone else wants to compete with me on it or do it with me, then and I can, and me doing it can help them exceed further than me, then that's great. That's perfect. That'd be great, because that's what competition does. But I do think it's just about me pushing myself to that next limit, you know? Right, let's get on with it. Anyway, let's see what we've got in the chat, because we've got a fair few people in here now. And you should be doing 50 pubs and then drinking each for your birthday, not listed on eBay. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? I never took a day off for my birthday, like, with work. When I was at the auction house, I'm pretty sure I worked on my birthday, or if I was in college. I think I was in college on my birthday, actually. When I was in school, I can't remember being off for my birthday or anything like that. I know there was people in school who used to skive on my birthday. And now I want it to be a day where everyone else rests on their birthday, but for me, it's a day where I push the hardest. Because I always think, and I don't know where I've got this quote from, or maybe this sort of statement from, but I've heard it somewhere, and it's on the days you feel the worst, or, you know, maybe mental illness creeps in, or whatever it is, or physical illness creeps in, and it really drives you down. They're the days you have to push the hardest and fight back, and not take it lying down, and just keep pushing till you're at your breaking point, you know. And my mum says to me, but you've got, you know, like, if you had a broken leg or something like that, you're not gonna just like get up and keep walking because it's gonna harm you. I mean, I know there's certain circumstances where it's not right to keep pushing. I understand there's certain circumstances where rest is needed, but I do think in a majority of mental battles, whether it be a mental illness or something like that, or even some physical illnesses, you know, it's best to keep pushing, you know, just keep going. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just my humanity or youth coming through, like wanting to do something, wanting to push, you know, wanting to be better. We could sponsor you for a charity. Hey, that's it. Oh no, I thought you were having a joke then or something, but no, that could be a good idea, actually. I could do it for charity or something, and that would help me push a bit more. Why is your cat named after a porn star? She isn't. Type in Cats the musical, and then type in Electra with a K. She's one of the cats from Cats the musical. A marathon. Have you heard of the Marathon de Stable in North Africa? Marathon a day, few the desert. Some guy lost, ended up hundreds away. What, 100? What do you mean lost and ended up hundreds away? Hundreds of miles away, or hundreds? One sec, let's read that again. Have you heard of a marathon disabled in North Africa? Marathon a day. Oh, it's a marathon every day. Through the desert. Oh my God. Some guy got lost, ended up hundreds away. Oh, I imagine you mean like miles away. Oh my god. Oh, there you go. Hundreds of miles. Oh yeah. I didn't see that down there. I didn't see that. You put hundreds of miles away. I didn't even see that. Hi Lisa. Kirsten says. What else have we got? I think that's about it. Yeah, hundreds of miles away. Yeah, so anyway, that's so what other things did I want to talk about? I think that was it, really. So you just whacked. God, have we only been going? Oh no, we've not been going 10 minutes. I thought, hang on a minute, we've only been going 10 minutes, but we didn't start half one, did we? We started at 5 past. Yeah, so I think that was everything I wanted to talk about. So just, any questions you've got, please do whack them in the chat. Yeah, what else am I want to talk about? Oh, I have recorded a sales update, so that'll be coming out very soon. I am doing an auction next week. I'm doing a car boot on Sunday, so that'll be good. Oh, and then, yeah, also I wanted to talk about, I know I've talked about this a little bit. No, I'm not using my Canon G7X right now. It's just my webcam. Can you actually do that? Can you hook your camera up to your computer? I didn't know you can do that. You might be able to with different models. I don't know. I mean, it's here. It's here. I don't know. I don't know whether you can. I don't. Oh wait, HDMI. No, that won't be it, will it? Well, there's a USB port here, so you can obviously hook it up to your computer, but I don't know whether you can actually use it as your webcam. But I know that certain like DSLRs and stuff you can, so I don't know. I don't know. I think it needs charging, to be honest. Are you selling at the booter? I did mention that last week. We're not sure because my mum's got like half a load to go, and I've got a good bit to go. And I need to ask my mum whether she's coming along and we're selling there, or whether I'm just going to go along and do it. The problem is I'm going to like a smaller one this weekend, and I mean I could do it and I'd get some footfall and I'd get some money, but I really would like to do it with a bigger one. So I don't know. I'll have to talk to my mum, see what she's doing, see whether she is up for doing one, because I know that she wants to come with me to do it, because she's got some stuff she wants to shift as well. Yeah, so I mean, I might do, I might not, but I kind of do want to, because I'm so close to £4,000 this month turnover, and I want to hit it. And it's going to be like that close. It's literally going to be an inch off. So if I do the car boot on Sunday, that if I can get like 50 quid from that, it might just push me over it. I'll be so happy. Obviously, it's worth noting that, 4,000 is turnover. I imagine my profit, I've not been spending terribly this month. This is only a guess, but as I don't know whether you guys get this, but if you do your monthly profit and loss like every month, you start to understand that if you make one figure in turnover, you're gonna roughly come out with a certain amount of net profit. Well, if I'm working it out in my head very roughly, I'd be hoping for about £1,500 to £2,000 net profit this month. I will tell you when I've actually done my accounts, but I like to say my net profit figure, because a lot of people get hung up on turnover and say, oh, you've done X amount, you've done 10,000 here, or 5,000 here, or whatever. But the real figure is your net. So yeah, I mean, I'm amazed that I've done that level of turnover, but we'll have to see what my net is on that at the end of the month, or the start of the new month. Because obviously, as I say, I've not been investing heavily this month, so that's not going to impact my profit a whole lot, really. I've not invested tons and tons and tons, so it shouldn't be too bad, really, my net this month. People, oh yeah, that was the thing I wanted to talk to you about as well. I've been doing like shares and investing in shares and stuff. Well, I had a really, really insightful conversation with my mum last week, and we sat down and we actually, so this house here is 3 bedroom. Yeah, 3 bedroom, but we don't actually have 3 beds. the spare room is my like stock room now, or processing room. It used to be before reselling. This is what reselling does. Before reselling, that had a nice bed in there. It had a few of the Christmas decorations that we shoved in there, you know, for Christmas. Now, after about 2 years of reselling, there's not one trace of like anything of my mum's in it. But the only thing that's in there is her little washing up thing, like not a washing up thing, like a washing. Is it a washing maiden or something? And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and then there's some of her clothes in one, like half of one of the wardrobe, but everything, the bed's gone, the bed went. You can actually see, oh, this is the great thing about me doing YouTube. You can see the progression of the spare room and how it's turned on my videos. If you go back to the start and watch all my room tours, you can see the progression from it being a normal spare room or almost a normal spare room to it being what it is now, which is like completely mine. So that's what reselling does, by the way, just so you know. I mean, it converts your entire house into something completely different. It really does. I mean, the stock right now, there's stock in the conservatory, there's stock outside my door, there's stock in there. I don't think there's any stock in the living room, but there's stock in here. So there's like 3 or 4 places in the house right now where there is stock, which is pretty crazy. And there's a lot of stock in there. Not that much because I've had a clear out actually. But oh, what was I going to say? What was that? What was my point? I've drifted off point. Oh yeah, so as I was saying, I had a really insightful conversation about my mum. See, this is what I do. I go off on a tangent with my mum about the bills of this house. And I'm not going to talk about the bills in terms of figures because that's my mum and dad's bills. So I'm not going to talk about that. I probably wouldn't talk about my own house bills on here. I don't mind talking about a business, but you know, when I get my own house, I don't know whether I'll talk about my house, like my main personal house bill. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. Depends how I feel at the time. I am quite open with my figures though, so I don't know. But basically, she sat me down and she went through all the different things that they pay to keep the house running. You know, all your usual things, your council tax, your food, your utilities, or you know, all that. You know, loads of different stuff. And you know, I've basically been putting money into shares, and I've got, I think, about 2,000 in shares now, or just over, which is really cool. But I've not. That's kind of been. I've kind of been using shares, my share account, as my savings account, and I should. My mum was saying, really, you should have another savings account, or put. Well, I don't need another account. I don't need to create a new account. I've got plenty of bank accounts, which is another thing that if you're a reseller, it's a nightmare. You have about 5 bank accounts, and if I get a girlfriend and then we need to create another account for other things, you know, personal things, it's going to be a nightmare. And all these standing orders and different things. And honestly, I've got no bills. Like personally, I've got no bills, and it's still a nightmare to track. And I've not hardly got anything, to be honest. I've not got any bills or anything like that really personally. When I have all these personal bills, I would go insane. I was just going to go insane, like trying to track everything and stuff. But she sat me down and we were running through them all. And she said, you know, you're putting this money into shares, but are you actually saving money? Like, you know, because shares are a little bit more risky, and you know, yes, you might get a better yield and stuff, but they're a bit more risky. So she's always been worried and been thinking about me saving money in a savings account. And we sat down and I looked at the bills, and the good thing is, here's the good news, within the next, well, even now, even like this month, I could cover, if I do my 1,500 to 2,000, I could pretty much cover a house if I lived in one. And just smaller than this, only slightly smaller than this, just on my wages alone, which is cool, right? Net profit, that is. But that's not quite not quite consistent, that level of net profit. So obviously at fourth quarter it's great, but the rest of the year it can be a bit choppy. So hopefully by this time next year, that's it. You know, every single month I can cover it. Like this year, most months when I look back, most months I could actually cover all the bills I needed to run a house slightly smaller than this one, which is great. That is some consistency. And that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted some consistency. But I think it's just going to take me a bit longer to be able to get my business in a position where I can like fully move out on it. And this is on my own, by the way. This isn't with a partner's income. This is like on my own with just reselling supporting me. So it's a big ask, you know. A house only very small, very little bit smaller than this to run on your own with all the bills just from reselling is quite a big ask. So I have thought about if if I get a partner, that's great. You know, that's absolutely great. And your deposit to buy the house. Yes, Neil, I was going to get onto that actually. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about my mum, like saying about the savings and stuff. But yeah, that's great anyway. So I'm in a decent position. After that chat, I was really happy because I was like, oh my God, this is like completely there now. I mean, after a decent Q4, this Q4, I'm actually next month or the month after, I'm going to invest a ton of money in stock and ready for Q4. I'm going to have a fantastic Q4. I am very confident with what I'm saying because I am really confident that I am going to have a fantastic Q4 if I put the work in. I'm going to have a fantastic Q4, and now we'll talk on about the savings. Yes, the deposit. So I'm going to need, my mum said, about 20k, right? So the good thing about me now is I don't have any bills. I don't have all the bills someone with a house has. So I can, as long as I'm making a decent net profit every month, I can put as little or as much of that net profit into my personal savings as I like, so long as I've got the cash flow to reinvest, right? So, reinvest in stock and keep the business going. So I'm in a fantastic position, and it's motivated me to do, really good things this Q4, because if I do amazing profits in Q4, I can put a crap ton into my savings, and it'll only take me about a year or two. I'd estimate maybe 23. Let's say 23. So 2 years of putting a good amount in each month. Maybe if I could put, a minimum would be 500 quid a month I'd want to be putting in. And that's doable. That's doable. Maybe there might be a couple of months here and there when I might, like in the summer months, I might be like, oh, well, do I want to put quite as much in? But there'll be other months, like in Q4, where in December or January, in January, after I've had a decent Q4, I might want to just put a lump sum of a couple of K in there if I can afford to do that. So it all sort of averages out. But I've got savings already that my mum and dad have built up, so I'm well on my way there anyway to that figure. So it's just about me getting the extra, well, the fair bit extra actually, but getting the fair bit extra in the next couple of years. But I do want a mortgage. I totally believe in buying and not renting. I don't have anything against people who rent. If they want to rent, that's their decision. But I do hold quite a strong feeling against it. Funny thing is, like, I'm going to be renting a cabinet at an antique centre, and here I am saying this about renting. Yeah, there are certain things that I won't be bothered about renting, like little things like that. But when it comes to property, I really feel passionate about buying and not renting. Certainly, if you're in the position I'm in, it's best for me to be looking to get a deposit and getting a deposit, getting a mortgage, and actually buying. If you're in a position where you're, maybe starting reselling at 30 or 40, and you've been renting for most of your life, and because you're renting, you can't be putting much in your savings because you've already got them big bills there. So you can't. It's harder to get into a mortgage. Whereas at the position I'm in now, it's very easy for me to get a mortgage in the next few years, especially with being self-employed. I don't think I could cope, and honestly, I thought this the other day when we were going through the figures. I don't think I could cope with having an annual salary. I don't think I could. I can't cope with the idea of there being this limit. Like, say you're on 20k a year, right? 20k a year for someone my age is good, is decent. That is good. I can't cope with that, because then I'm thinking, well, every month I get a set amount. That's all I can put away in my savings. That's all I'm ever going to be able to do, unless I get a promotion or this and that. What I like to, like, right after those figures that we talked about, what I talked about with my mum, I was automatically, my brain had opened up, right? Like, yes, I know, Neil. I talked to Darren about that as well. I've got to look into that. I know it's a nightmare. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff, and it's going to be a nightmare. You know, there's so many good things about being self-employed, but that is a definite negative. Yeah, Neil says, if you want to know, also mortgage lenders will be very nervous of a self-employed person. It's exactly true. But what basically, my mind opened up, and I thought to myself, hang on a minute, I could really make something here, because every day when I get up to do reselling, I don't think to myself, well, oh, this month I'm just going to do X amount. Like, I'll have a figure in mind that I want to achieve, but the sky's the limit, you know. And at quarter four, I really feel now like I can just do a crazy figure, and there's nothing for me to stop. There's no one but myself to stop me doing that. If I was in paid employment, unless I was a reseller alongside my paid employment, that's different. But if I was just paid employment and not doing reselling at all, then I'd just be getting a bit more down, because I'd just be thinking, well, I can only ever achieve this. Whereas with my reselling, I'm thinking, well, hell yeah, if I want to invest a load of money into my business now, and then in stock, I'm ready for Q4 and do a crazy figure in Q4, what's to stop me doing that? And then that means that next year I can invest that into savings. That'll all go when I'm 23 to a house. Then I can start paying off my mortgage. Then I can grow the business exponentially, whether I get staff or whatever it may be. Then when I've got enough cash coming through the door, I can end up maybe even investing in other properties, or I can invest in an emporium or an experience for people, because I believe that in the future people are only ever going to go to the high street for an experience or a service, like the hairdressers, or to go swimming, or to a sports club. I do believe the high street is going to fall at some point, and I believe that people are only going to go out for the things they need to go out for, like a haircut. And I think there'll become a time when, obviously haircuts just completely done at home by robots or something, but that's way in the future. So if I want to actually have a building in the future, I need to attract people with an experience or a service and nothing else, no product really, or I would have to attract them with a service or an experience and then have the products in the building. But yeah, I could do that, and then I could earn more money. Then I could invest that money into stocks and shares over the long term, get better for retirement, get better money for retirement. I could invest that into more investments, and it just grows. Like, my mind is exploded with the infinite possibility of capitalism at the moment, and I'm like, oh my god, there's all these different things that you can do, and it's like, wow, I could make a fortune. And sometimes you've got to draw that into a certain level, because it can corrupt you, and it can make you blindsided or blindsided. I never know that saying, but it can make you blinded by just all this money and power and stuff like that. And that's not, it's got to be something about the money, obviously, because you want the money, but you've got to push that to the side a little bit and ground yourself a little bit, and then create a proper plan, like a proper structured plan, that where you want to be, in 20 years time or so, because when these hands, look at me now, when these hands are 10,000 days older, I want to have everything I have foreseen in my life. I want to have all the things I desire, all the things I would like, all the things I desire in my business life. yes, I'd like a lot of personal stuff, but I believe that'll just naturally come over time. I don't worry too much about my personal life as much as my business life, and maybe that's going to be the downfall of my personal life. I don't know. What next? Dentist robots. Well, did you hear that? Right, we're 2 o'clock, so I've not been an hour yet. Did you hear that thing on? My dad told me about it. It was like these robot GPs or something. Not robot GPs, but like robots replacing GPs. I think it's something Google are doing at the moment over in America, and they're being able to. They're like touch screen things or something, and you basically touch the part on the touch screen. You touch the part of your body which is hurting, and then they can give you a quite accurate diagnosis. It's actually, and my dad was saying, I don't know how correct these figures are, so take them with a pinch of salt, but because obviously I've only heard it via word of mouth, which is completely and utterly, biased, could be biased, and it's, it's not come from a valid source. So take them with a pinch of salt. But he said, this is what my dad said, he said, about 1 or 2 in every 10 GPs get it bang on with the diagnosis first time round, right? And I can believe that because I've been in hospitals and stuff quite a lot of my life, and I can believe that because we've been messed around quite a bit. But this machine, like this new machine that Google are working on, is 9 out of every 10 times the diagnosis is being directly diagnosed first time. So that's pretty cool. You have to do some research yourself, but yeah. Yeah, sold a big haul stand that I had planned on taking it to my antique fair. Oh, right. No, I mean, how? Oh, yeah, you'd get it there in your van, wouldn't you? Oh, I can't be bothered doing big items. I know that there'll come a time where I want to do furniture. I really do. I want to. I think there will come a time where I'll do a bit of furniture and things like that, and bigger items like that, but not yet. Not yet. I diversify too much anyway. Here we go. Adam says, the chat's jumped. So I stepped from the computer and I come back and Ads is talking about offering people services and experiences. Where is he going with this money-making experience? Well, I do have a plan. It's, I actually have 3 or 4 different plans that would attract high-end clientele out of their houses to a physical premises in the future, because as I've just said, I don't think people are gonna go out unless it's to go to a zoo to take the kids to see animals. They're not gonna go out to get the food shop. People are already staying indoors and buying the food shop online. 20 years time, I just think it's gonna drop off a cliff. I honestly do. I think I just do. Maybe not 20 years time, but certainly in my lifetime, certainly it is going to drop. I do think it is. And but people are only going to go out to have new experiences, like go to Chester Zoo or do this or do that. So if I want in my lifetime a physical premises called Ads Emporium, I am going to have to tailor it so that then it is something that people want to visit for the experience. So it's kind of like Willy Wonka's Fantastic World that everyone has to visit. It's going to get people out. It's going to get people together. It's going to bring people an experience, a magical, wonderful, amazing experience. And I mean, obviously, I would have the food prepared by like someone like Heston Blumenthal or something like that, because, well, maybe not him directly because it would be very expensive, but I'd have the food prepared very weird and wacky like he does. Obviously, as I just said, it would be for high-end clientele, so I'd need a lot of money to actually do it. But it's a pipe dream at the moment. Maybe in 20 years, I might have some more money to play with. Where are we? But no, I have some wacky ideas for things I want to do. I have some wacky ideas. Where are we now? Don't wish your life away. Enjoy the moment. Oh, well, yeah, I enjoy the moment, but I just think very long term as well. I just think like It's weird, like I think of all the things I'm gonna have before I have them, and I already have them in my mind anyway, like they're already there, and even if I don't achieve them, I've always got that vision up there, and I can always write. What I've thought of doing is if I get to like 50, well, not 50, that's too young. If I get to like 70 or 80, if I make it that far, I'm gonna write down, draw up what I want my emporium to look like, and if I've got any money, I'll leave it to my kids or grandkids and say, if you want to do it, you can do it. You know, it's my dream, so you don't have to do it. But if you want to do it, you can do it in your lifetime. If not, try and find me someone who wants to do it, and maybe put me up a picture of me in like the reception area, just to say that I've done my dream. So even if I don't make it in my lifetime to all these ideas, I've got a piece of paper I can pass on to someone who might be able to fulfill it in their life if they would choose to. So, you know, I don't worry about the future. I don't worry about my dreams. There's always a way of getting them completed, maybe not in the correct way you would have liked, but or not in your lifetime, but certainly there's always some way of realizing them. So yeah, I mean, I could just call my eBay store Ads Emporium, and then I've got my Emporium, and then that's it. But I've not done that. So I don't know. It's like I'm kind of, if I do that, then it's like I'm fulfilling my dream too soon. I want it to be hard. I want my dream to be hard to achieve. I want it to give me a challenge. I want it to give me passion. I want it to give me enthusiasm. I want it to give me what I want at the end of it. And the only way I'm going to get all the details correct is by it being hard, honestly, and investing a bit of money that I don't have yet, but I will have in the future, hopefully. So, yeah, I talk too much. Maybe that's why. It's a good name, innit, Thursday Talks. Oh, here we go, Lisa Fenn. My mortgage wasn't originally an endowment mortgage. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to have to research that. It changed when the endowment would no longer cover the original loan, so I switched it to a repayment mortgage. Is it? No, it's not anything to do with death, is it? Endowment? Not to put a downer on things, but is it? Or is that another word? I don't know. Hair cutting robot, scary. Well, it's not that scary. I mean, I wouldn't like robots to operate on me, but hair cutting, as long as they were really perfected and I could see someone else like in a chair getting it done by them beforehand, I'd be all right with it. The thing is about life, right, is things progress with you know, in generations so slowly that maybe I can't come to terms with something that's going to happen, but it is going to happen. But the beautiful thing is, by the time it happens, I'll be an old man and I won't adjust to the new technologies because I'm stubborn like that. And then I'll die, and then a new person will be born who can adjust. And then they'll live a completely different life in a completely different time with a completely different ideology. And that's how it should be. That's why reproduction is such a great form for a species to have, you know, such a you know, great. If we're all immortal, it wouldn't work the same. We'd become stubborn, we'd become reluctant to change, we'd become conceited. Well, maybe not conceited, that's the wrong word, isn't it? Conceited means something different, doesn't it? But no, I just don't think we'd be as exciting as a species as we are now. So yeah. I'm getting deep on this one, aren't I? I'm not, to be honest, right, to be fair, I've not had a really deep episode for a long time, so allow me this one episode to be really mad and crazy and deep. I have to do it once in a while. I have to do it. And you knew it was coming when I said, watch the change between Adam and Ads. Did you see the change? Did you see it? You know? That's why I keep saying I feel like I have this dual personality, because it's like this like new person just takes over and wants to do all these different things, you know? Very weird. Philosophy with Ads, yeah, I always wanted to be a philosopher. I other than reselling, my only purpose in life is to find out what life is. Honestly, that is my biggest thing. Meanwhile, in the real world, we are all selling second-hand tat on eBay. Yeah, definitely. Well, this is the problem. No one was giving me reselling related questions, and you know what happens when I don't get any reselling related questions, or I don't have a topic to stick to. It just goes out the window. So, yeah. To top it all off, my yacht sprung a leak. God, you have a yacht? That's awesome. That is so good. Well, I'd just chat to Nick and Zahir about all this. No way. Could you imagine me on a live chat with them just blurting out all this stuff? Oh my God. It'd be funny. 1 second, I'm just going up a bit. Stick all this in a time capsule for future experiences. Well, that's the beauty, and something else I was thinking about this week is the beauty of YouTube is, and even leading off from this a little bit, beauty of YouTube is my daughter, if I have a daughter, which I'm convinced I will, but if I don't have a daughter, my son, let's be a bit more normal and say that I'm going to have either a daughter or a son and not just believe I have a daughter. But let's say, so my son and my daughter, the beautiful thing we have at our power right now with YouTube is, and our generation is going to, well, my generation, you know, maybe slightly old generation, is basically the first to have access on a worldwide scale in terms of, you know, cameras and phones and stuff like that. Everyone has access now to video, right? And when my daughter's or my son is my age and I'm like 50, because I imagine I'm not going to have kids till probably at least sort of 28, so be 49, 50. So when I'm that age, 100 years ago, right, no son or daughter could really see their parents in their prime, right? But when my son or daughter is my age, I can just show them all my back catalogue of YouTube videos and they can see how I am right now. For all I know, I'm talking to this camera, and right now, in 20 years' time, what's happening right now, even though it is in 20 years' time, but I believe in Einstein's theory of predetermined time, so I don't believe in quantum mechanics theory, so it's quite hard to understand. I believe in like the thing that Doctor Who does, like time is, you can literally visit any time at any time. That is weird, but you can visit any time whenever you want. That's what I'm meaning. So every time is happening simultaneously, but also not simultaneously. It's very hard to understand, but it is actually a disproven theory, so there is no scientific validity to the theory, I believe, anymore. But I still believe in it because you don't know how valid science is, you don't know how valid religion is, you don't know how valid anything is really in the grand scheme of life, but I still believe in it anyway. And yeah, I could be talking to this camera right now and she or he is watching me right now with my future self. So hi future self, by the way. Yeah, I hope I look pretty cool. I hope I look like, you know, a 50s Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, with like the short hair, you know, short grey hair. Yeah, I hope I look like that. So hi. But that's the beauty. She can see me or he can see me in my prime. How cool is that? Like I'm here in my prime, trapped in this time. And then 20 years later or 30 years later, you know, I'm watching it with her, trapped in another period of time. How cool is that? How cool is that? You probably understand, I watch far too much Doctor Who. You can always dream, Adam. I dreamt of a Porsche at 40, ended up with a shitty a Ferrari? What are you on about? That's not. Oh my God. You actually ended up with a Ferrari at 40. I dreamt of a Porsche at 40, ended up with a no. My God. Stick. I've already. Oh wait, sorry, I'm way behind on the chat here. Well. Oh no, wait, great, no more comments. So I'll leave it there, guys, before I ramble anymore. You think too much. I'm tired just trying to keep up. Does no one else think about this? You're about 5 to 10 years short of your prime. Well, a human, right? Here's the thing. A human, of what I've read online, so it is online, so it's not that valid maybe, but a human, the human's prime is around, yeah, as you say there, around 25, 30. But here's the good thing. A human, if they would like to, with their exercise and stuff, can actually keep their prime, keep their, the time that they are considered, at their prime for almost till 45, 50. So if you keep up your exercise and stuff, although your cells may slow down slightly and won't regenerate at the speed that mine are now, you can still do the exercise and still build the muscle or still be in your prime, basically. I forgot where I read that online, but it was quite cool when I read it. But yeah, I don't know. I always think I'm like my prime now. This is the thing about being human. They don't tell you what like specific age ranges are. Like I've had to make it up on my own, right? So like I always think at 30, that's it. You're starting to degenerate slightly, and you're starting to just slowly go down. Your cells aren't regenerating at the speed they once were when 25 or 20. Maybe I'm completely off of that. Maybe it's 35 or 40. But the thing is, no, I would have loved to learn this in college. If they told us at what ages, you start to degenerate quicker and what happens to your body at certain ages, then I wouldn't be so crazy, because I'm out of my mind trying to think about all these different stuff, and it's like, it's like, oh my God, I've got to try and think about all these different things and try and make it so then I have a definitive answer to all these things, because no one else is giving me a definitive answer. And I'm not a guy who likes black and white. I am a guy who likes black and white. I don't like grey. Yeah, I mean, this is another thing, right? And I'm very sorry, this might be a little bit, I wouldn't say harsh, because I'm not directing it at anyone, but right, Peter Capaldi on the Comic-Con panel, I was watching it before, he referred to himself as middle-aged, right? Now that guy is 59, and I was thinking to myself, and this is how I always determine it, if anyone says they're middle-aged, like my dad says it sometimes, if anyone says they're middle-aged, I automatically think of their age and double it. And then if their age comes in at like 100 and odd, I'm like, no, because how many 100 and odd year olds do you know? So that automatically makes you slightly older than middle age. Unfortunately, that's just it, right? So I'm 21, double it, 42. So I'm fairly young, because 42 is middle aged, right? So I get middle aged anywhere between the ages of about 35 and 47. I know it's harsh, it's just my thinking, because if you double 47, you get 94. Fair enough. There's people living till 94. That's cool, right? If you get 35, that's 70. So when you're 35, you might be a bit young, but you're just coming into that middle age bracket. Then after, like, I know there's a bit of a grey area between about 47 and 60 or 47 and 55. There's a bit of a grey area where you're not really old, you're not middle-aged, it's just kind of a bit of a, and then after about 55, 60, unfortunately, in my opinion, you'll be starting to get into that older age bracket. I know that people are living longer, so 60 isn't really that old, and I understand that, but to keep with the flow of the chart that I have in my mind, I like to think, you're just getting into that older bracket. Anywhere between the ages of from birth to about 3 or 4 is like toddler for me. Anything from like 4 to 12 is like just kid. 13 to 19 or 20 is obviously teenage or adolescent. And then, sort of 20, 21, all the way up to 30, 35 is young. So, sorry, I'm weird with this. Ads, what you got in your pocket? It's just a bag. Are you sure you haven't been sniffing a catnip? No, I haven't. I plan to live well into my hundreds, so I'm not middle-aged. Well, it depends. You might do. I mean, my great grandma is 96. I did say on a video ages ago she was 94, but yeah, she's 96 now because I don't see her that often. I really should see her more. But yeah, she's 96 now, which is crazy. So you need to get a girlfriend to take your mind off all this deep thinking. You know what? I think this is the most deep I've gone on in a video, but I'm glad because I just want other people to understand how much I think and how hard it is just to do all the just to think of all the stuff I do, because I don't know why I do it. It just happens, you know. I just think too much. I think you're right, Neil. You know, you're right. I mean, I've always said it. I just don't think it would help that much. It'll help for a short while, but then I'll just go back to thinking about it in like crazily again, because it's like reselling. It's like, you know, people say reselling becomes an addiction. You're constantly thinking about it. You're constantly wanting to do things about it. Resell. You constantly want to resell. It's like this, overthinking things for me, overanalyzing, exaggerating things, really just overthinking things is like my addiction, along with reselling. It's weird. You should get the day bus pass and do about 3 towns. Oh wait, I think we're just talking in the chat. Yes, it is cold. I don't care. Here we go. 30th was no problem for me. 40th was a bit tougher. Yeah. See, there we go. You know, as I'm thinking, 40, you know, it's middle-aged really there. 80 years old, doubling it. I mean, I could tell you all the different things I think about. That is just one little piece of everything. And that's why I'd love to play, like, act as the Doctor. Like, literally, I'd love to be in that show, because that is so much about this crazy eccentric guy whose mind explodes with stuff, and he dresses very flamboyantly, all this sort of stuff. He's very bold, big, he's not afraid to be seen, all that sort of stuff. And that's why I'd play him so bloody good, so good, you know. But yeah, that's another dream of mine I have. And obviously, it ties in perfectly with the rainbow coat. Because, like, I know that, okay, Colin Baker did have a sort of patchwork rainbow coat, but I could have a tie-dye rainbow coat. And it just all works so well. It all seems to just fit into that character so well. I am, in a sense, a human version of that character. I just want to be the Doctor so bad. I think that's the thing. I just want to be him, you know. Oh, here we go. Thank you very much, Retro Boots. You don't have to do that. You don't have to super chat. Oh, why did you super chat on this episode? You could have super chatted on a really decent, well thought out episode that I was talking about decent reselling stuff. But you have to super chat on an episode that I'm really not giving any valuable content. But all the same, I do appreciate it. Thank you. We could we could club together and buy a lady for his next birthday. No, you're not doing that. You're not doing that, because there was that show ages ago where I can't even remember what it was called, but it was about like buying, you know, ladies of the night for people, and I just don't think that's particularly right. I don't know. Maybe I used to, maybe years ago when I was a bit more closed-minded, I would have been okay with it. But now I'm too open-minded, and I just don't think that's particularly right. I know that is a contradiction in itself, but you could only understand that if you were like in my mind. So I don't know, but I used to think it was okay when I was younger and more reserved and more British and more closed-minded, but now I'm a bit open-minded. I'm not as much for it. I don't know why. Lucy, don't encourage him. What is it? What did you think of the new Doctor ad? Oh, have you watched it? My brother isn't happy about it. No, right. I said on the live stream that I actually deleted anyway in the end. But I said in the live stream that I was unsure. And that fear is starting to dissipate a little bit now about the Doctor being a female. The thing with me is I am very, very open-minded. You know, I'm very, very open-minded. If I met aliens and they had the power to consent and they were intelligent enough to consent and I found them attractive, would I, you know, get friendly with them? Maybe so. I am that open-minded, and that's why I always refer to myself as very 51st century. But you know, I did. Funny thing was, getting back to the point, where I did find it a little bit of a niggle in my mind when I knew that. I don't know whether it was from the fact that it's always been a male playing it, and maybe it was just unusual that it was a female. But I don't know. I think maybe it was just that. I think maybe the fact that it was it's always been a male playing it, and then to change to a female, it just struck me a little bit. But now I am a bit more comfortable with the fact, you know, a woman's going to be playing the Doctor, and I think she's going to make a fantastic job of it. But the thing that I'm not comfortable with, right, is the Doctor in the Doctor's Funeral, the Sarah Jane episode, the Doctor's Death of the Doctor or Doctor's Funeral. I think it's Death of the Doctor, actually, the episode's called. It was in the final series of Sarah Jane Adventures, just before Elizabeth Sladen, or Sladen, I can never pronounce her last name. Unfortunately, she passed away. I remember that. It was a Friday. I got in from school. I went around my grandparents, because I always went around my grandparents. And I just cried, because I absolutely loved her. Both as Sarah Jane and although I hadn't watched her as Sarah Jane in the Tom Baker series yet at that moment in time. But as Sarah Jane in the Sarah Jane Adventures, I absolutely loved her. And I think I think they should have continued the series, but like done it, maybe not the series, but like done a spin-off with Clyde, Ronnie, and K9, and who was voiced by John Leeson still, and what's his name? Luke. Clyde, Ronnie, and Luke. I think they should have done a spin-off to continue it, and maybe devoted the first episode of that series to her. Although, did they devote one of the Doctor Who episodes to her when she died, and like put that little, you know, picture card at the end? I always love it when we do it. Don't you just love it when at the end of an episode, whatever TV show it is, they put that little card and we play some really nice quiet music, and they put the name and then the date we were born and the date we died. I think it's class, you know, it's a touch of class. I just love it. I really do. And it makes you think, you know, at least people were thinking of them, and it was just really nice. It was. Must admit, in my younger days, I think some of the girls I chased were more alien than human. Oh my god, that's classic. Maybe Ads is an alien. Well, I mean, there is that theory, isn't there, that we are actually aliens from another planet and we settled on Earth. But I mean, it's only a theory. I mean, there's various religious theories that I'm not going to go into because it might offend people, but there's various religious theories about aliens and stuff as well. But God, yeah, there's some cool stuff out there. Yeah, so what was I going to say? So yeah, it's not. Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, I've lost my train of thought. So in that episode, Matt Smith played the Doctor. He was walking backwards along a ventilation shaft. Clyde then said to him, "Can you? Is there a limit to how many times you can change?" And the Doctor said 507, which is actually, he was saying 507, which actually, if you combine 5 plus 7, it's 12, giving the 12 regenerations he can have. Now, I did first of all have a problem with that because the writing is a little bit off, and he basically did say 507 rather than 5+7. So it led me to believe that he can actually change 507 times. But yeah, I just had a problem with the way it was written. But I kind of have got to grips with what we were trying to do with it. But he also says that Clyde asks whether he, what he can change into, and the doctor says he can change into anything, like another alien or something. You can change into any shape or form you want. So here's my question: 13 different doctors, right? What is the percentage chance that one of them, just one of them, would have been something else other than the shape of a humanoid, right? It's ridiculous. I want them, for one of the next doctors, to actually have someone dressed up in like an alien costume, and the doctor regenerate into an alien being that we haven't even seen before. So he's still a Time Lord inside, still got biologically as a Time Lord, but he's like shapeshifted during his regeneration into the physical side of another alien, because that's what he said he could do, and it's annoying. So that's what I want to see from Chris Chibnall or whoever else the showrunner is in the future. After we've had a female, I want there to be an alien. I do. I don't know how well it would work. I'm not saying it's going to work fantastically. It's just in the argument of continuity. Why do they not stick to continuity? Doctor Who, there's so many little niggles in it for me that aren't continuing with the with the entire story, and that does affect it for me. I love Doctor Who, I absolutely love it, but it does get at me a little bit. Is more like David Tennant as the Doctor, really missing Billy Piper as Rose Tyler on the beach. Yeah, I loved, obviously David Tennant was my era, Christopher Eccleston was my era. The reason I loved Doctor Who so much is because I was 9 when it first came out, and that to me is like almost prime age. So when it came, was released back again from obviously 1996 movie and then to 2005, I loved it. I remember my dad saying, and I remember these words it's so vividly. He said to me, I said to him, "What's Doctor Who? What's Doctor Who?" And this was the first taste I ever got of it. And he said, "Oh, it's like aliens and sci-fi." And then he said, "You'll absolutely love it." I remember those words. "You'll absolutely love it," he said. And that was the first moment I knew about it. I must have been 8 or 9 at that time. It was maybe a month or so before the show was aired. I had watched a commercial on it or something, and or an advert, because we're not American, but commercial, advert, it's all the same. And I absolutely loved it. I really did. I got into it so much. I watched all of the first. I remember there was a channel called Watch. I don't know where, or Watch series. No, Watch. It's called Watch. Don't know whether it's still around actually, because I don't watch TV much anymore since I've been a reseller. I do watch a bit on my computer, but not much TV on the actual telly. And yeah, what was I going to say? So there was this channel called Watch, and it used to show repeats of the Doctor Who's all the time. And this must have been 2009, and I used to just spend days in summer, literally in summer. I would hardly go outside. I used to spend days in summer just watching these episodes back. Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, I watch them back and back. I must have seen all those episodes between 2005 to 2010, time and time, crazy amounts of time. And then Matt Smith I still loved Matt Smith. I think he brought, especially later on in his tenure, I think he brought a really, really different side to the Doctor. Even from the beginning, he was different, obviously, as a Doctor. But I think he brought a different side to the Doctor. Obviously, Stephen Moffat replaced Russell T Davies as a showrunner, so it was different writing and stuff. But he brought something. He brought a silliness to it, but that he could also he could also be very serious, and that's what I loved about Matt Smith. He was still a great Doctor, and then obviously went on to Peter Capaldi. I was sort of a fan of his first season, but I do feel like this season just gone, and maybe even Series 9, he got into it a lot more, and I feel like he's become a better Doctor these past 2 seasons. Season 8, I was like that with him. But yeah, and I think, honestly, I just think with Jodie Whittaker, I think it's just going to be one of them that clicks with me straight away. Like David Tennant, after one episode, I loved him. And you know, Christopher Eccleston, because I didn't really know any different back when I was 9, I just loved him straight away as well, really. But Matt Smith, I was like that on for a couple of episodes, but when I got into him, Peter Capaldi, I was like that on again. But I think Jodie Whittaker is going to be like that David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston, and I'll just snap right into it and be like, yes, I love this. She's great. I just think that. I think the only doubt in my mind is the fact that it's been a male for so long, and now it's switching over to a female. I just think there might be some little thing in my mind that's playing up on me with that fact. But I think that as soon as she goes into being the Doctor, I think I'll love her. I just think because it's been a male for so long, it's going to be hard for her to make it her own Doctor. But I have every faith that she's going to do really well, you know, and I'm just going to, all those doubts will just go, and I'll be like, yes, this is the Doctor, you know, regardless of gender, regardless of species or whatever, or, you know, looks, that's the Doctor, you know, because it isn't generally a look, and it's like, it's a consciousness. Every one of us are, you know, this body here is, it's just a body, you know, the consciousness is where we really are. So yeah. Anyway, Peter Way has super chatted £2 saying the end. What is this show got about? What is this show about? Just got here. You sound excited. Sorry. Right. Okay. Every time I put in the title, you choose the topic or live questions from the chat, I always go off topic, right, Lonnie? And you've seen it many times before. Well, this entire episode has like been one big off-topic thing. I think we started with some basic reselling stuff. Then we went into mortgages and stuff, which, okay, is like kind of there. But then now we're just on Doctor Who. So it's like one big thing. So, yeah. Sorry, he won't stop talking about Doctor Who. I know, sorry. Sorry, I love it. But you know how much I love it. You just know I love it. Lonnie can save me. Sit down and chill. Right, shall we have one? I was meant to go a while back. Shall we have one? And Carol's just super chatted, so thank you very much. Just shall we have one reselling question before I go? So then I feel like I've given you something. So one person put a reselling question in the chat, and then I'll get gone for you. So yeah, one reselling question. That's all I want. Whoever it is, put it in the chat. One reselling question, and then at least I feel like I've brought something to you. It's just don't get me on Doctor Who. Ads, do you? Oh no, Lonnie, I'm not. Do you understand how black holes work? Can you discuss? Right, okay, very, very, very quickly, because I can't not do this one. When you have a black hole, the closer you are to it, time starts to freeze for the observer. Right, so if someone was going into a black hole, the closer and closer they get to it, the slower it is seeming for the observer over at this side, right? And time isn't actually really slowing down for them, but it's slowing down for us as the observer. And when that person goes right through the black hole, I think they just freeze. You know, if you had a person going through the black hole or a ship or something, it would just freeze, and you just see that frozen image. I'm pretty sure, but it was discussed on by what's his name, Brian Cox. You know, well, he's not that old, he's fairly young for a professor. But no, it was discussed by him. So, Siv K, that's funny. No, right. So Lucy says, "Who's your most used parcel service? Hermes, Collect Plus, etc." I love a good black hole, don't you? Chris is. Oh, I didn't see you in the chat, Chris. Hi, Chris. My most used courier service, parcel service, is Royal Mail. Probably by about, it's probably 70-30. So 70% Royal Mail, 30% Hermes. Obviously, with FBA, I use UPS. You know what I'd really like, right? I'd like a chat with one of the American guys, a live chat with one of the American guys, so they can actually tell me how their postal service works, because I keep looking at their video, like loads of people's videos over in America, and they're saying like first class, second class, priority, doing this. It's like there's so many things over in America to consider with parcels and stuff. Whereas here it's like Royal Mail, Hermes, UPS, and then the other couriers, and then like that's it. It's like first or second class Royal Mail, Hermes, which is the no classes, it's just Hermes, and that's it. But like loads of oh, I like it, Tommy. I joined and heard. All I heard was cocks and holes. No, as I was saying, yeah, but it seems so. Maybe it's not hard over in America. Maybe it's easier. Maybe their parcel service is easier. But I just need someone to explain it. And I think the only way is going to be like a live chat where I explain it to her face. But God, I just keep hearing it. I've heard it on the 6-pack, you know, the Reseller 6-pack and stuff when people have been talking about it. And it's like, whoa, you've got all these different services. Just interesting to learn about it. Carol, are you drinking a glass of Prosecco now? Oh, great. So my money back. No, I am chillaxing now. I just joined. Right, I think that's everything. So I will leave it there. Someone go to his house and give him £10 and get home to the charity shop. I said ship. By the way. Oh man, this is good. Yeah, Lonnie, you want to see the rest of the chat. It's been one big woo, you know. One big sci-fi eccentric ride, you know. Right, I'll leave it there, guys, because honestly, I could chat forever. I could chat forever. I've connected a hose to my car and I'm drinking the diesel. I'm busy composing my next Reseller rap for my birthday. Will you do another poem, ads? Oh yeah, when's your birthday? Oh no, it's probably a personal question for me. Yeah, but all right, well, yeah, I do want to know your birthday, but I'll message you, and then if you want to tell me when it is, you can. Yeah, but that's cool. When anyone says birthday, I always want to immediately be intrusive and learn when their birthday is. I might do another poem. I did say earlier on in the chat I'm doing a Reseller comedy short free. I'm waiting for Danny to get back from Thailand though, and then maybe he can help me with the camera work and stuff. Right then, I'll leave it there because everyone's begging for mercy. Oh, someone just says, I ordered a cable from China in May. It just arrived today. Oh, you know what? I've ordered stuff from China. It takes forever. It does. Yeah, right, so I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you for watching. Please do give it a big thumbs up, although I would suggest you wouldn't, because then that might make more people watch it, and then they're just going to go be in for a full ride. Oh, no biggie. Okay, I won't say it anyway, but yeah. Okay, there we go. That's old age compared. No, that's not old age. That's middle age. I said between the ages of 37. That's 35 and 47 is middle age. That's all I said. If you want to go back and find out why I say that, go back further in the show and you'll find it. Got to go. 20,000 rain ponchos to load onto the courier. Oh my God, bloody hell! I'll be 50 or dead, according to ads, on August 30. No, I did not. Oh, you're twisting my words. Oh, for God's sake. Right, that's it. I'm going. Thank you, everyone, for a great chat. It's always nice to see everyone. I'm sorry there was no Electra. She's gone downstairs. She's probably sleeping again. She slept so much today. Next chat, I might, if she's in here, I'll obviously pick her up and you can see her. Because I do want to show her on camera as much as I can, especially when she's little. Because it's really cute when she's little. When she gets a bit bigger, I mean, she'll still be cute, but it's just nice when they're little, isn't it? Right, see you soon, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, and I'll be back, well, probably tomorrow or the next day with the sales update. So yeah, I'll see you very soon, guys.